Yunnan, with an altitude of 3,000 meters, is the extension of the sky where the sun bathes its children on red earth. Here is the center of colors, sounds, and faces smashed with emotions. Shangrila. I was attracted by the picture on my hotel room. Its free and acoustic style is the perfect reflection of the southern air, the burning liveliness. But what's interesting is the harmony between the local religion Xiaocheng Buddhism and dizzy flashes from the golden rooftops and bargaining noises filling the city every night. But here we are, the center of Buddhism in the district of Shangrila, prime temple, proudly constructed under Yuan Empire's then thriving glory. Every cornice, every handle, and every fresco is guarded by monsters whose appearance is fierce and outrageous. But all these decorations throughout the temple are nothing more than reconstructions. In the merciful eyes of this Buddha, modern apartments 1 block away stand with pride and ignorance. However, a gate, an original gate constructed by craftsmen, struck my mind. Carvings out of carvings, symbols inside symbols. I cannot imagine the artisans chiseling out every inch of the now darkened bricks. There's no fire in their hands, only calmness and accuracy. The flames in their hearts, however, ripened the flowers in the cold stone. Curves are dancing, dragons are swirling on the tower, staring up into the tipping gold. And gold is the Buddha. Size of the Buddha himself can only be approached along the road that craftsmen have built with their will, the will to put out the fire and reach the eventual peace. And peaceful is the sky today in Shangrila. Grain. Layers of grain from dark to light surrounds the towers inside the royal palace of Botanical. Around the base are niches with Han-style roofs, but the core, the 6 supporters reflecting the major skyscraper in the middle, a traditional Thai style. This tower and the garden once belonged to the chief of the Dai tribe, a localized division of the Thai people. In the sun that melts the sky and clouds, time has changed the white surface like wrinkles on an aging face. But it's exactly the wrinkles that tell us about the glorious past, and it is the darkened marbles that pictures the loyal face of believers. A hidden statue among the trees under which Buddhism itself was born is the best dedication to what millions worship. And the numerous images, the simple lines of sunlight, and the complicated mazes of symbols and shadows are nothing more than 1 or 2 drops of sweat. And we are merely a part of the nature that can be and will be deconstructed and absorbed again, so were the towers pure white. I guess that you have dreamed of sleeping on a leaf and jumping from branch to branch. That's what I did in the Botanical garden in Shangrila. Glancing over all kinds of tropical plants, falling in love with the pond is surprisingly easy. Little sunlight is poured down at that moment, only still, quiet pond with plants burning on fire. Thriving red blossoms and a peaceful yet vigorous grain makes the pond full of liveliness. Popularity has filled the halls of shyness on monasteries. It comes from Mexico, a place hot and lively, just like Shangrila. 遇见, running into. A bit less romantic than that. Meetings, most likely for the first time. Yes, I haven't been to a bar, your guitar or your soul in the darkness of palm trees, yellow and noisy scents from aromas and late meals mixed together. But your songs, highs and lows and fast and slow, light somewhere in my memory. I heard hustling chats and low voices, and laughters and throats. It come from the colors of Thai soups, the smells of coffee, and even the sounds of motorcycle engines. But my loneliness still recognized yours. If you have no altitude stress, wander along the Buddha Lake. Watch the scattering cattle go around the hills. The pines topping the hills with jade, turn gradually into a vast range of grassland. Going deeply enough into the forest, the branches and trunks will freak you out by the sticky swingings like greenish spiderwebs. They are actually a combination of fungi and algae. Others come from mushrooms, moss, and even the decaying wood in the water. And the clouds are piled up, layers on layers. It's like a scene from an oil painting with such a high saturation. Reflected by the mirror on the lake, the sky goes dark to light and light to dark again. Divided by the rolling hills that can only be climbed over by eyesight. Ranges of mountains and the clouds, both separated yet connected, loosely, in the maze of nature, and in the smouldering lake exactly the same. I am sure we are at the top of Shangrila, but I don't know which is higher, the passing ravens or the sitting bronze beasts guarding the fane of laws. The order of the fanes from left to right represents rebirth and returning in Buddhism. Patterns on the walls are simple, but somehow very modern. White circles as the sun and white crements as the moon. Shangrila itself means the sun and the moon in the heart. And yes, the concept of Shangrila comes after the temple. But isn't this how our religion is born at first? An approach only viable for human imagination. The temple is a reward from the Emperor Kangxi in Qing dynasty. And he himself was a faithful believer of Tibetan Buddhism, and he must have prayed so faithfully as the deers on both sides of the pattern. Then the plateau breeze swings all the colorful flags fluttering through the strewn caissons and turns the chant bell rolling, bringing happiness and harmony for the livings. About 20 years ago, a young couple in hiking coats and sunglasses, my parents, chatted joyfully on top of Mount Yunnan, where pure water runs into the square streets of Lijiang. And they brought home a souvenir little bell with a Dongba character on it. It's a language used by the local Naxi people. However, unchanged is the language and the tongue. So much has changed in the houses and streets that used to see those words flowing through the windows and attics. Businesses has taken the place of traditions. Now there's no store selling Naxi bells and handmade souvenirs. With water no longer from the Yulong mountain, music bars make whiskeys instead of pu'er teas. But despite of these changes, so much purity and wildness is still notable. There are hand drummers playing music with the traditional methods of clapping. And there are stores selling us traditional clothes, silver craftsmen making accessories and scattered along the streets. Still, we get to see the hands hitting the drums and hear the hollow voices of silver under hammers and smell the quiet scent of pu'er tea inside noisy crowds yelling to buy a marble for blessing. The grand water wheel is still rolling on and on, in the popular melody played by the hand drum, but somehow heroic rhythm. I'd like to end this video by a line I wrote myself. The clouds, piled up and more grey than white, is the only sun of the last curtain of the hills, and the will of this land. Thank you.